How's it going, everyone? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moon Base. Hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your week. Happy Tuesday, and happy new moon in Taurus. This is the new moon of the year. This is the best energy that is coming through all of 2024, and really for the next couple years, in my opinion. I want to remind y'all on Wednesday, tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a live on YouTube with Frankie's Tarot over on her channel around noontime Eastern. I guess it'll be pretty early Pacific, so wherever you're at, it could change. I'll let you know. I know some of you who are on this channel also follow Frankie, so I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be talking about the new moon. We're going to be talking about the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction with Venus and Taurus. We're going to be doing sun signs. I'm doing lots of tarot. She's a tarot master. She's really amazing, so I'm really looking forward to having that conversation with her tomorrow. Don't forget that my Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus reading sale is still available, and the last week of May is almost filled. There's 2 more slots, I think, at the end of May. So this is going to be available till June 21st. I'm leaving it up until then because we're still going to be in the mists or the beauty of this new moon that's kicking off today. So I got to say, I don't know. We've all been saying it and we've all been feeling it. I think what's so significant about this new moon, not just that it's going to be activating this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that's been all the hype all year. I think what's important mostly is that now we can start to understand what we've been going through with this Mercury-Chiron conjunction and how our identities have evolved and shifted in the relationship stuff that we've really had to deal with since this North Node has been in Aries and the South Node has been in Libra, and these eclipses that have activated these areas, and definitely this last eclipse that we just went through. So now we are fully out of the eclipse cycle. That was a whole new moon ago that we had that Aries eclipse right at 19 degrees, right where Chiron has been, right with where Mercury's been retrograding. So much stuff has come up these past 4 months, especially in February, and especially with these last eclipses that we just went through. And the Mercury retrograde has been significant because it went retrograde at 27 degrees. Before it got to 27 degrees and retrograded, it conjunct with Chiron and went retrograde, went back, conjunct with Chiron again, and now Mercury's direct, and now today, Mercury and Chiron, both at 21. Mercury's past Chiron now, right when this new moon is happening. So now that we are moving into the best energy of the year, of the next few years, potentially, possibly. I mean, when Jupiter comes into Gemini, it's not going to be the same, right? So now that this massive healing transformation that we've been going through with ourselves, on a personal level, and how that corresponds with our relationships in our lives, with the people that we love, the people that we care about, the people that we're doing business with, the people that we have any sort of relationship, friendship, marriage, all of that stuff, and it's reminding us that, our individual selves have to be addressed, but also relationships are the most important thing in life. Is having people in your life that you really care about and you really love, right? So Venus is also dispositing the South Node. Venus is, rules Taurus and Libra. So this is a massive new beginning in our lives. This is like the most important new moon I think I've seen in such a long time. These eclipses have been very important as well. But this one is like, we want to be able to expand our lives. And this new moon is kicking off this massive expansion and this massive growth and new knowledge coming in and new ideas in our lives completely taking different directions that we never expected, and beautiful new things coming into our lives that we know we have been capable of manifesting, and we have been manifesting, because Taurus is the master manifester. And this Mars in Aries, with Mars and its ruler finally getting some fucking action here. Mars is how we manifest. Taurus is what we manifest. You know, Mars is how we go about it, how we take action upon the future we want to create. Mars only wants to go one way. Aries only goes one direction. Taurus, the same way. It only goes one way. Once we get to Gemini, then we can start getting into different environments and start tapping into different cultures, different languages. You know, but Aries and Taurus, the first two signs of the zodiac, the two probably most stubborn signs, you know, only want to move in one direction or be where it's at, which is more Taurus. But at the same time, I think, like I said, what's really important is the fact that we can start to piece together what this Chiron and this Mercury retrograde has been for us all, where the pieces haven't been fully understood, you know, there's been a lot of questions. It's like, is it me? Is it the person that I'm with? Is it my relationships? Is it my business? No. Now we know. It's like, okay, these are the things within myself that I have to heal. These are the things within myself that I have to address. And Mars is giving us this power and this fire to finally take action. Because moving into this very amazing territory with this new moon in Taurus, with Venus, Uranus, and Jupiter, and now that this new moon is finally kicking off what this Jupiter-Uranus was setting in stone and implanting, we don't want to be caught in that victim state. We don't want to be caught in that woe is me that this Chiron has been, you know? And we don't want to be sucked into the codependent BS that this South Node in Libra has been trying to clear. You know, so with this Mercury finally crossing Chiron for the third final time, it's like, we've gotten the message. The message is clear. We can start to really understand it. We can start to mentalize it. The connections in our brain can start to really, you know, this is very impactful as individuals in the life that we want to create. This is the most powerful manifesting new moon I've never seen this in my lifetime, to be honest with you. You know, when Jupiter was in Taurus last time in 2011, we didn't have this. We didn't have Uranus there with Jupiter. We didn't have a new moon happening at the same degrees where Jupiter and Uranus conjunct, right? Neptune was just getting into Pisces at that time. At the last new moon with Jupiter and Taurus in 2011, Neptune and Pisces was at 0 degrees. What's fucking crazy is that the next new moon we have with Jupiter and Taurus, that Uranus is there, Venus is there, and that Neptune has come all the way. Since the last time we've had Jupiter and Taurus, Neptune has come a full sign here in its ruling sign. We have spiritually evolved in ways that, if we look back to 2010, 2011, we as individuals and definitely as a culture, globally or wherever you're at, we're in a way different place, right? That was Saturn and Libra. Saturn trying to come into Scorpio. You know, we were moving out of that kind of pop culture mentality, you know, of like being stuck in that matrix. Things were way different. I don't want to go into the details of that, but things were way different. So we can see how spiritually, as a culture, we've evolved, right? And that now it's like people are waking up to their own internal power, that they can create their own reality. They can choose what they want to let into their consciousness, right? Because what we let into our consciousness is what we're going to get in our physical world. Taurus does that best. Pisces supports Taurus to really see the vision, to make it real, right? And so today as well, like right before this new moon happens, the sun's going to sextile with Saturn. So it's like, look, going into this new moon with Venus and Jupiter and Uranus and Mars and its domicile, its home sign of Aries, with Neptune in its ruler. We have 3 planets in their rulers. People born with 3 or more planets in their rulers, they say in like ancient and traditional astrology, those are people who are born of kings and queens or of power, right? Those are some of the most powerful people. You look at a lot of really famous, powerful people, they have a lot of, or not a lot, but they have many planets in their rulers, right? And their charisma and their power is, very prevalent. And I can name it. I mean, we can say Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has, I think, 4 planets in their ruler. We can look at his chart. He's in a very interesting chart. He's a Cancer, I think, Scorpio moon, something. But he's, and he's got that energy. I mean, I think Michael Jordan as well is one of those people who have 3 or more planets in ruling signs. So I think, too, with the Saturn making a sextile to the sun before this new moon happened, is like Saturn's telling us, like, look, you've seen the vision. You've had the vision. Now the vision can start to become real with this new moon. And we can start to bring in this new energy where the vision and what we've been setting in stone in our lives, or even just, visualizing, I think is really going to surprise a lot of us. There's going to be so many surprises over these next 2 months, because going into June, like, we're still going to have Venus in Taurus. We're still going to have Mercury in Taurus. Mars is going to be coming into Taurus, which we're going to see all through July as well. We're going to be in this window of this new moon in Taurus with this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction really until July. Even though the outer planets are going to start going retrograde. Pluto's retrograde now. But, we're going to start to see these things show up. And we really have the next few months to really see, like, wow, like, I think we've put in more than we realize. And that's kind of how Neptunian energy works and Pisces energy works. It's like, you don't really realize what you're doing. If you have a lot of 12th house planets, it's like you don't really realize the kind of visionary energy that you put out that really shapes your reality, right? So if you have a lot of 12th house energy, you're a master visualizer. And I think, too, with Neptune and Saturn here, it's like, I think our subconscious energy and our frequencies have been so strong that I don't think we've realized how much we've actually been projecting out what we want our reality to look like. And now this moon is kicking off this whole new wave of energy where it's like, okay, here you go. Here's the time to really receive. This is a moment of receiving, right? But also with Mars and Aries, of doing. So the more we can do, the more we can put into action, the more we're going to receive with Taurus. In Aries, we put it into action. With Taurus, we lay it into reality and we receive, right? In the 12th house and in Pisces, we receive. I think that's part of the reasons why traditionally we say Venus is exalted in Pisces. We receive just by being, by existing, by visualizing, by projecting the vision that we want to be in our physical reality. And we have all of that power within us. And I can look back to 2011 and 2010, 2011, when Pisces was at 0 degrees and Jupiter was in Taurus. It was a whole different vibe. It was a whole different frequency. I can honestly say that I don't think most of us on a massive scale were in that position of understanding, or in that mindset of understanding that, wow, what I think creates my reality. That was not a normal discussion. Now, in the spiritual community especially, but even just, you see it all over the Instagram and the TikTok and all that shit. It's just like, this is a normal discussion on YouTube. People like Joe Dispenza or, all these scientists or neurologists who are starting to do the science behind how our thoughts create our reality. Like, this Neptune transit. This has to do a lot with this Neptune transit in Pisces. Now that Neptune's at 29 degrees and this new moon is here, it's like all the Pisces energy with Saturn and Neptune and all these planets in Taurus with Mars and Aries right there. This is as powerful as it gets to really shape our reality and take a hold of our reality in the way that we want it to look like. It doesn't mean that there's challenges and things are perfect and you're just gonna, receive everything you want. But in a divine way, we receive the things that we need. We receive the things and where we put our energy into and where we, put our hearts and put our love, right? It's not as simple as just like, I want $1 million and I'm going to sit here and just visualize it and it just comes to me. That's not how it works. And that is what bugs me about a lot of the new agey spiritual shit that you see online or in culty weird ass communities, which, I'm very familiar with. This is the reminder and that we have the power within. And if you want to make it real, you got to see the vision, and that's Pisces, that's Neptune. If you want to make it real, you got to take action. You got to do. You got to go. That's Aries. And you got to go head first. And you can't let, whatever outside, negative force or negative frequency pull you under, which is where this Pluto in Aquarius is retrograding all alone. Look, we as individuals have all the power right now. Look at this. Saturn, Neptune, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Moon, Sun, Uranus, Jupiter, all in Pisces, Aries, and Taurus. Pluto is not winning right now. Yes, there is some fucking shit going on behind the scenes. There is some hidden agenda being played out here. But it's not so hidden anymore. I think we are so much more spiritually awake and spiritually evolved. We've gone through this Neptune spiritual evolution with Neptune in its ruler that a lot of us here are awake. That we're not letting the Matrix dictate our reality. We're not letting the Matrix or some created system that really does not have our back and have our benefit create our reality for us. We can choose to not partake in that, but on a Capricorn level or on an actual Matrix level like Neo, when Neo became aware of the Matrix, he was terrified of it first. He was terrified to be awake or terrified to not be connected to where he was asleep and where he was comfortable. It's comfortable. I like sleeping, but when you're awake, it's not always comfortable. It's not always comfortable to just be in reality and understand that. But once you're outside of it and you can see within it, then you know how to work with it on your own, right? And that's what a mastered Capricorn teaches us, is that you can be at the top of the mountain. You can see all around and know how to maneuver it to your liking, right? Of course, with its limitations and its boundaries, because Saturn rules Capricorn. So it's like you have to work within the boundaries of our 3D reality, right? But the way to do that is to be outside of it, to project the image that you want of what your reality wants, you want your reality to look like. And stepping into this new moon is when you'll start to see how powerful you really truly are, But the reminder, once again, is that not being caught or stuck in this Chiron or this South Node in Libra is the most important thing. And if you're caught here in this South Node or you're still caught here in this Chiron and you're just not being realistic about the messages that Mercury's giving you today going into this new moon, it's going to be very hard to reap the benefits of all of this because this is Jupiter. Jupiter's the furthest. Jupiter's leading the way right now, saying, hey, come on. It's fucking Christmas. Let's go. This is Santa Claus on his sleigh, fucking, not with reindeer, but with fucking turbocharger, just fucking blasting away like, you're going to keep up. Let's fucking go. This new moon is laying the pathway to give you the opportunity to create the reality that you want. And wherever it's happening for you in your chart is where those places are expanding and where that new expansion that's coming through will be totally anew. And the new energy that's expanding for you is going to be from places that you did not expect, but also from seeds that you planted long ago that could go back to Jupiter and Taurus in 2011 when Neptune was at 0 degrees Pisces, retrograding back into Aquarius. That was right at that time because Neptune came into Pisces, February 2011, if I remember correctly. I remember it. I remember what I was doing very vividly. That's a funny story. But this also goes back to 2005 when the North Node and South Node were in Aries and Libra, and those eclipses that are playing out to now, or we can look back to year 2000 with the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Taurus. But we can also look ahead to the next 13 years where the next Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is happening, and how we're going to expand and create the reality that we want to create that's going to be really playing out over the next few years. But, Jupiter-Uranus conjunctions happen every 13 years. So this is the moment where it all kicks off. This is the moment where we start to receive, where all the amazing things start to show up in our lives. And, it's been hard. It's been really difficult in 2024. Going through the last degree of Pluto and Capricorn, with Venus and Mars conjuncting Pluto. It's just been so intense. And then having this Mercury North Node conjunction, and then these eclipses with Mercury in Aries. Or Chiron North Node conjunction. My bad. I said that fucked up. But, it's been so intense. And then, these eclipses. And now it's like, fuck, this is why we've been going through that, is to get to this point. So when we can go through the pain, when we can go through the struggle, when we can suffer, or whatever the fuck, the core of the human condition is, there are always these breakthrough moments where we receive, and Uranus is massive breakthroughs. And with Jupiter conjuncting Uranus, these are the biggest breakthroughs of our life. And I think one of the most important things that a lot of us are going to be having breakthroughs with is realizing that it's up to us. Whether we're going to be stuck in the same old patterns and letting this matrix BS dictate our reality, and we're just going to go along with it just because we don't want to change, because this is fixed signs, or we don't want to adjust and change our beliefs because this is Jupiter and Taurus. It goes both ways. Taurus is fixed, so if you're allowing Jupiter and Uranus to, come through in ways that it's like, wow, Jupiter and Uranus is expanding this in my life. It's not what I expected. It's kind of uncomfortable. You got to go with it. And if you don't, and you just want to be where you're at, you're going to miss the boat. You don't want to miss the boat here. Grab a hold of it as much as you possibly can. Whether it comes down to you fucking having some vision board or, whatever you do to really focus your attention on the reality that you want to create, because it's about where you focus your attention. You're going to focus your attention on Chiron? Oh, poor me, woe is me. This is too much. I'm suffering too much. If you're going to focus on that, or the chaos, it's going to be hard. Time, we do not go backwards. We're not going to get this time again. It's you got to say, fuck all the bullshit. I'm putting my energy towards what I want my reality to look like. I'm only going to focus on what's positive, what is good, and when the negative things come up, you got to totally Mars and Aries that shit and just say, fuck that, whatever. We'll keep moving. You got to work with the energy in the most, powerful way, which is holding your ground, standing up for yourself. And I know it's just we've been talking about this for months. And I think the biggest thing too is now that Neptune's at the final degree, is being able to observe how you've spiritually evolved since 2011. Think about how culture has spiritually evolved. Think about where we were in 2010, 2011. That was people were watching Jersey Shore and fucking all that kind of crap. People don't even watch TV anymore. People are choosing what they want to watch, Now, at the same time, on a Pluto level or a Capricorn level, you got to be careful with what you choose. You got to really see the source of things, where they come from, And that's what Taurus is about. You got to be the source of what this future is going to look like for yourself, for humanity as a collective, the communities that are going to be evolving here. I think really on a collective level, we're going to see people. I mean, we've already seen it since Pluto's been in Aquarius. We've seen groups, on a global level stand up to the system, right? Like, and say, hey, the farmers in Europe, the people protesting, like, there's a lot, for better or worse. There's two sides of it, but still, it's like, we're going to see that pop up even more, and people talking more and more about, like, living off the grid, wanting to start their own farms, wanting to grow their own food. This Jupiter-Uranus conjunction too is bringing that up a lot, because people are becoming aware of what the fuck is going on. Truly. So we want to use this energy to really project out the image of, like, okay, this is what the life I really want to manifest and how I want to bring it in. Let's see what we got here. We got the Eight of Wands. So we have the magic. To me, when I see the wands, it's just like, this is the magic, right? This is when the magic starts to show up. Neptune at the 29th degree. Jupiter leading the way. Life can be more magical if you allow it to be. If we say, I don't believe in visualizing my future and what I want my future to look like, that's a bunch of crap. It's like, well, that's what you get. That's all you're going to get is the same old, same old. Having faith with Jupiter is the most important thing. Jupiter rules faith, right? Sagittarius, being the ruling sign of Jupiter, that's their gift, right? Is being able to say, you know what, like, I just believe, And it's like the Virgo says to Sagittarius, it's like, well, how do you know that you can do that? It's like, well, I don't know, man. Like the Sag is like, I don't know, dude. Like, I just know. I feel, I intuit the right brain, right? That's the gift of Sag. That's Jupiter. That's how Jupiter works. You can't control it. Saturn, when we get to Saturn in, it's about control and boundaries and this and that. But Jupiter, Uranus is shattering boundaries. This Saturn in Pisces is testing the boundaries, of what's beyond the physical world and the physical world in Pisces. So I wish you guys the best new moon ever, because this is the best new moon ever that I've seen I can't recall a new moon like this, to be honest. Pluto's retrograde, but whatever. Fuck Pluto right now. It's all alone doing its own thing, being weird and creepy in the shadows, I don't know. We don't know what's going on underneath the surface here with Pluto. So I wish you guys the best. Don't forget, I'll be with Frankie tomorrow. I'll let you guys know what time. I'm super stoked to be collaborating with other people on YouTube, especially people like her, who's super amazing at what she does. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the new moon, doing sun signs, all that kinds of cool shit. And yeah, I hope to see all of you there if you have time. I'm sure if you're busy working, doing whatever, you can catch the video later. I'm sure it'll be available on her YouTube page. And yeah, if you're new here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, say what's up. My Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus reading sale. The link to my booking website is in the description of this video, along with all of my other social media platforms, my Instagram, TikTok, all that shit. All that good stuff. I'm not going to be posting the horoscopes on Spotify anymore. That's another story. We're protesting Spotify. Anyways, have a lovely new moon, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.